Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's the weekend. Let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, September the 10th, National Swap Ideas Day. It's a good thing to do. And National TV Dinner Day. Oh, I haven't had a TV dinner in years, but I remember when I was a kid, we would have those once in a while. I actually really liked TV dinners when they were in the aluminum things. Remember that? Like the foil? You don't see those anymore. September the 11th, National Hot Cross Buns Day, National Make Your Bed Day, National Pet Memorial Day, National Hug Your Hound Day, National Grandparents Day, and September 11th is now Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance. And it is a day that, again, I remember when everything happened in 2001, and here we are now 21 years later. And I was saying back then, I sure hope this doesn't turn into a day to have mattress sales and car sales. And most of the time, you don't see that. So let's hope that just doesn't happen, because that's not what it's about. But yeah, Patriot Day. And I do have a guest this weekend as well, John Savage. We've had him on the program before. He was on a Movie Star Monday last time. He was available to chat, so we're doing it today. John Savage, he's got a new movie out called Eye for Eye. We're going to chat all about that coming up.
What can I say that I haven't already said about BetterCreditCards.com? It's a website. You go there to get a better credit card. Okay, that's really probably all I need to say for most of you, but I still have time left, so how about this? At BetterCreditCards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Taking into account some of the biggest shows in 2022 so far, the team studied scripts of varying genres to break down the shows that have the most angry words in them, spanning a duration of 3 hours, the percentage of negative vocabulary from each show, and then worked out a rank to reveal the most romantic shows as well. So let's talk about the most romantic shows of 2022. Let's see which one has... So it looks like number 3 is And Just Like That. There's 567, so it's at 8.6% romantic. Number 2, Sex Education, is 9.75% romantic. And Bridgerton is 9.76% romantic. Doesn't sound like any of those are super romantic, though. Unsurprisingly, the show with the most loving words overall, Bridgerton, racked up an impressive score of 644. From proposals to promenades, the show oozes romance and heartfelt emotion. 3 hours of the show, they broke down 9.76% of the words communicated love. I've got more information about this study if you want to read it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Are you looking for an energy drink that's natural, lasts longer, has no dyes, no artificial flavorings, and no sugar? Blitz Energy Drink is the answer. With only 10 calories per serving and 200 milligrams of caffeine, our formula will help increase your focus, endurance, mood, and energy levels. Order now at drinkblitzenergy.com. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% and get free shipping on any canister. drinkblitzenergy.com. Promo code RADIO20. That's drinkblitzenergy.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by RadioTravelGroup.com. Heidi, did you know? In a commentary published in the New York Times, Ashley Judd explained that she has filed for a petition to block the release of a report on the death of her mother, Naomi Judd, saying, quote, the horror of the experience will only worsen if the details surrounding her death are disclosed. And by Tennessee law, that generally allows police reports, including family interviews, to be made public, end quote. She revealed that her mother, who died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in her home back in April, was still alive when police arrived, and contends that the barrage of questions kept her from attending to her mother in some of her final moments. Most relevant to her objection of the report is that she says family members revealed the many personal things in the interrogation without any thought that this stuff would become part of public record.
Oh, geez.
So, again... and
it's nobody's business anyway. Why does it need to be
It doesn't need
released?
to be. I don't know.
Ridiculous.
I just think it's really sad. You know, this is a very personal thing, and it's very sad
and
that
it's hard
this
for
even
the whole
happened.
family.
Yeah.
It's awful.
That's weird. That's not good. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. The View has announced the show's celebrity lineup for season 26. Some big names on the list here. The season, which just recently kicked off, or it kicks off this Tuesday, I'm not sure. It says, which kicks off Tuesday. So I think this is from last week, though. Anyway, they have, let's see, Chelsea Clinton, Hillary Clinton, promoting their docuseries Gutsy. Who else is on the list here? Hello Sunshine founder Reese Witherspoon, iCarly alum and author Jeanette McCurdy, Abbott Elementary star and creator Quinita Brunson, including others like actors Regina Hall, Constance Wu, Viola Davis, Billy Eichner, Elizabeth Moss, Jamila Jamil, and Dylan McDermott, plus Mel C. and Leanne Rimes, and looks like a few more as well. So it looks like a star-studded lineup. And there's
certainly does.
There are some folks extremely excited and some folks that are going, yeah, not my cup of tea.
Honestly, the only one I'd be interested in seeing is Jeanette McCurdy from iCarly, because she has written a story all about the sexual misconduct of Nickelodeon. And
really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The way they were treated as child actors. I'd be very interested in seeing that one, actually.
Did not know anything about that. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Join us in October for The Sands, a week of music and fun that's been described as the best week ever by many guests. This year we have more icons and more fun. Loverboy, Belinda Carlisle, Lou Gramm, Vanilla Ice, Samantha Fox, Firehouse, and many more already on the schedule. Plus, more announcements coming soon. Plan to join us October 25th through the 30th at Planet Hollywood Beach Resort Cancun. This all-inclusive event will be the time of your life. Learn more now at radiotravelgroup.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. We recently had a story about a guy who was setting a world record, floating in a giant pumpkin.
Yes, we did.
For 11 hours, I think it was. And I've been trying to grow my pumpkin so I can, outdo that. But I haven't.
I would love to see you try to climb into a pumpkin.
I have not really.
I've seen you try to climb into my Audi. I can't imagine you climbing into a pumpkin.
She drives a car the size of a go-kart. And then she thinks it's really funny when I got to move it because I'm trying to get in. I weigh about as much as the car. So I got to try to move her car. But the reason I bring up the world record thing, we have a guy who just broke a world record. That this is one that, I don't know, maybe I could beat this one. I've always thought it would be cool to have a world record. Heidi says,
know you do.
No.
That's so silly.
She doesn't think it's important. But here we go. Story says, an Idaho man snapped 139 matches in half in 30 seconds to earn a Guinness World Record. Hey.
What?
Hey. I'm just saying.
I just do not get this at all.
David Rush, who has broken nearly 250 Guinness World Records to promote STEM education. He previously broke the 30-second version of the record by snapping 83 matches. And then he decided, I'm gonna break this record. Now he's up to 139
That's
matches.
Fantastic.
So I don't know if he's doing these one at a time or if he's breaking a whole bunch of them at once.
Wow.
But should I see if I can maybe beat that record? Do we have any matches around here?
We do have matches.
do we really? That seems dangerous. I'll probably catch a studio on fire. So I won't do this one, but I'm trying to think of a world record that I can maybe beat. I think that would be a ton of fun. And again, Heidi says, what?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, she doesn't think so. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com.
Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? Check out this beautiful family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Poipu, Kauai, Hawaii. Our family stayed recently and we absolutely loved it. The area is so beautiful and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can all enjoy your own area in a vacation rental? Visit Hawaii and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. Learn more at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Our guest, once again, John Savage. We had him on the program a while ago. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
It's an honor to be a part of your great little show.
We are excited to have you back on the program. Now, this new film, Eye for Eye, is a movie that you've recently done, and this is over 300 films you've done now. That's a lot of films.
I don't count. The ones that really stand out for me are a blessing. The Deer Hunter and this last one I got to do just before I got to do Eye for Eye. It was a quick little shot at a film that I think was one of the better films in my life. Was The Last Full Measure.
Yeah.
And that was about another Vietnam little story about the vets afterwards. And it really was very sensitive to the time it took for a lot of recognition of what they did and coordinating. Like I grew up with a First World War vet, Second World War vet in my house, and the stories about that period and that time afterwards, and the support from the community and women who got a chance to go to school, and the government with the GI Bill, and men who supported each other. Today, we have more women coming back from the service. And this little film, a bunch of people who were really nice. I got to meet, and Blanco was my friend, and we decided to take part in this film with the Mirish Martin production. Larry Martin and his wife Kat on their ranch up here in Montana. It's really just a beautiful location, just incredible environment, and I learned a lot about the area from them. There's the history of the country we should see more about. In the film, it's just this time after Civil War, and there's a lot of people traveling across country and find a new life. And this landowner that I got to play, he was very powerful. He owned a lot, and he wanted more. And we enjoyed just the environment and working together. And this sense of heroism, in the cowboy movie always got me. Just one man against the world.
And this is a Western film, and we don't see a lot of those these days. What was it like being a part of a Western in 2022?
Well, I've done another one up in that area, and I've learned a lot more about the Native Americans and the history with the advances that are going on in the nation. And, the nations up there are, one in particular, I'm sympathetic to, the Lakota, and it's around that, in and out of that area. And a lot of them got together. Chippewa Sioux, in the area we were in, Missoula, it's called, in the middle of surrounded by mountains, beautiful mountains. And one area, they came from around the area. The Crow was big, Blackfeet, and they came together as different nations and walked right over these mountains from different areas and gathered through a canyon into a larger area. To everyone just kind of come into like a big community sharing thing, because people actually found ways to end up in different tribes, sometimes either by kidnapping, whatever you want to call it. But there was a respect kept, and people actually made a point to. I mean, I think the women are known to have actually run most of the communities, and were the ones that the chief usually went to for discussions. The women of the nations. And some of them were taken by other nations and become part of that. But then to see their old families and stuff, nations came together.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful areas of having the stories of them walking through. And we worked with a diverse community of people in a little film. It was not a cast of thousands. We didn't have much money. But the spirit of the film with a heroic cowboy, will always be a favorite kind of part of my life. Like growing up with those movies. Shane Klaus did the one song that's played throughout our movie, and it was really sweet just to see how strong his character had to be, losing his wife in their small little place, to the effort to drive him out and to change my control of the little town, and any sheriff that got out of line or got too against my plan. I had to deal with them.
Well, the new film, once again, is called Eye for Eye. It's available right now through streaming. I'll throw a link to that in the show notes. John, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
I'll throw a link to the trailer and a place to find it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
What can I say that I haven't already said about bettercreditcards.com? It's a website. You go there to get a better credit card. Okay, that's really probably all I need to say for most of you, but I still have time left, so how about this? At bettercreditcards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
2 to 3 teaspoons of raw nutmeg can induce hallucinations, convulsions, pain, nausea, and paranoia that could last for several days. So if you ever see anybody doing the nutmeg challenge, tell them
don't
do
do
it.
it.
Because it can also, I believe it can kill you too if you do too much
if you
of
get
it.
too much, yeah.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
BMW holds the world record for the longest continuous car drift at 232.5 miles, where it's like going drifting, where it's kind of riding sideways.
Okay.
They had to refuel mid-drift with another car driving alongside them. So that's quite the longest continuous car drift. I don't know why you would need that, but they've got it. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
People who post their fitness routine on Facebook are more likely to have psychological problems. All right. Well,
I agree with that. I know some people who do that, and I would have to agree with that.
You won't see me doing that. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The term junkie comes from the fact that heroin users in the early 1900s would sell scrap metal to pay for their fix. They would sell junk.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, there you go. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Are you looking for an energy drink that's natural, lasts longer, has no dyes, no artificial flavorings, and no sugar? Blitz Energy Drink is the answer. With only 10 calories per serving and 200 milligrams of caffeine, our formula will help increase your focus, endurance, mood, and energy levels. Order now at drinkblitzenergy.com. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% and get free shipping on any canister. drinkblitzenergy.com. Promo code RADIO20. That's drinkblitzenergy.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. Yay! It's brought to you by mintervention.com. Here's your question, Heidi. A survey says the average adult has not done this in the last 5 years. What is it? The average adult has not done this in the last 5 years. We've done this.
Weighed themselves.
We do this a lot. No, that's a good answer, though. But no, it's not weighed themselves. Although I haven't done that in the last...
It's been a while.
We moved recently, and I don't know where my scale is.
I can't find this.
Is that a good excuse? I'm going to keep that excuse for a while. No, the answer is a survey says the average adult has not made a new friend in the last 5 years. So get out there and make some new friends.
Or maybe you feel like you know enough people.
That's Heidi's thought. All right, Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com.
Join us in October for The Sands, a week of music and fun that's been described as the best week ever by many guests. This year we have more icons and more fun. Loverboy, Belinda Carlisle, Lou Gramm, Vanilla Ice, Samantha Fox, Firehouse, and many more already on the schedule. Plus, more announcements coming soon. Plan to join us October 25th through the 30th at Planet Hollywood Beach Resort Cancun. This all-inclusive event will be the time of your life. Learn more now at radiotravelgroup.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. A pilot on a flight to Cabo San Lucas took to the intercom and threatened to return the aircraft to a departure gate if they don't stop doing what they're doing. Did you hear what they were doing?
Don't you make me turn this plane around.
There was a passenger airdropping nude photos to him. So the airdrop, iPhone users can send digital links from one Apple product to another if they're in close range using Wi-Fi. TikTok user Tay Mars posted footage where the pilot was telling passengers, so here's the deal. If this continues while we're on the ground, I'm going to have to pull back to the gate. Everybody's going to have to get off. We're going to have to get security involved, and your vacations are going to be ruined. It goes on a viral clip, which now over 3 million people.
And I suppose the stupid kid thought it was funny.
I know. So you folks, whatever that airdrop thing is, quit sending naked pictures and let's get you to Cabo. So anyway, folks online thought it was funny. I got a feeling it's going to... Yeah, he actually said, the pilot said, don't make me turn this plane around. But here's my concern, because I think there are people who didn't even know you could do that. Now they're like, oh, you can do that? So I got a feeling we're going to see more of that, sadly. That is Weird News, brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, the list brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Here is the 10 leaders of the pack for dog lovers, the best dog lover cities. I've got the top 10 worst and best. We'll start with the top 5 best. Austin, Texas, San Diego, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, Miami, Florida, and Orlando,
Really?
Florida.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, those are the best places. These are places that have dog parks, have all kinds of things for dogs. Worst cities for dog lovers, we'll again do the bottom 5. Pomona, California, Newark, New Jersey, Brownsville, Texas, Laredo, Texas, and the worst city, according to this list, for dog lovers is Detroit, Michigan. Again, I've got the top 10 and the bottom 10, but I just don't have time to do all of those. If you'd like to see them, they are in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? Check out this beautiful family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Poipu, Kauai, Hawaii. Our family stayed recently and we absolutely loved it. The area is so beautiful and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can all enjoy your own area in a vacation rental? Visit Hawaii and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. Learn more at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Now, your quote of the day comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Charlton Heston said this one. Political correctness is tyranny with manners.
I agree with that.
It's a pretty clever quote. It's a very clever quote. Because here's one of the things. I remember somebody I thought this was a really good thing where they were being, hey, you got to act this way and you got to do this thing. And they're like, I would rather see how you really want to act because then I know if I really like you or not.
Exactly.
Because if everybody's got to act a certain way and everybody's got to pretend to be somebody they're not, how do I know who I really like? Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, there's some brilliance to that, I think, maybe. But then we're on social media and people get to act the way they want. And I'm like, maybe we should go back to that other way.
The people I really like are the ones not forcing me to say things that you want me to say.
There you go. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of radiotravelgroup.com. This is quite the story. You ever have a teacher that you really like?
Yes.
Did you ever bring that teacher a gift?
Yes.
Like an apple, or what did you bring the teacher?
My mom would make homemade bread, and I would take homemade bread to the teacher.
How often would you do that?
Oh, not like daily, but
just wondering.
It's a lot of work.
Just wondering how weird my wife is here. So, no, I there's a lot of people think about taking an apple to the teacher or whatever.
Right.
How about a car?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's quite a gift. Math teacher commuted 4 hours a day. His students surprised him with a car. This comes from Los Angeles. He believed, says, a beloved math teacher entered what he believed was a faculty appreciation ceremony. But when he walked in there, he was kind of surprised to find out the faculty they were appreciating was him. And he walked out of there with the keys to a car. Julio Castro is 31. He lives in Santa Clarita Valley and teaches at the Eula Boys High School. He wakes up at 4:30 a.m. every morning to commute for about 4 hours by scooter and bus to get to and from the school. He does not have a car. He returns home sometimes as late as 9:30 p.m. after his young 3 children have already gone to sleep.
Oh.
He says he still makes sure to devote all of his time to his students, says Joshua Gerdish, who happened to see Castro looking at cars online. He'll skip his lunch break. He'll help students, and he'll stay after school to help students. He also helps students who are not even in his class. He's really, really, really devoted to our future. So Green Dash was committed to getting Castro a car. During a month-long fundraising campaign, Castro's students, aware of his transportation difficulties, raised more than $30,000 to buy him a vehicle. They bought him a year's worth of gasoline and car insurance as well. There is a video of him being surprised by this. It is...
I bet it's a tearjerker.
Oh.
Did you cry?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. I'm not ashamed to say that. I think that's really cool. And you know what? I think it also speaks volumes about these kids. And in here, there's only one kid's name that was in the story. I think that there should have been more because it was a whole group of people. But this is the one that was kind of the one that set it up and started it. But what a great idea. I think it's really cool. I've got a link in the show notes.
He must have been a good teacher because I can honestly say there's not a single math teacher I ever wanted to do anything for. Maybe run over him with my car.
Would you just... I've got a link to this story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. You should be ashamed of yourself. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.